Hey guys, welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today I am building my first apartment speed build video, and it will be based off of your recommendations in the comments. You guys wanted to see something more cluttered and more lived in, and so this apartment will be for an art student. So let's get started. So I've chosen to build in the 910 Medina Studios apartment, which is in the arts district. So thinking about the art student here. And I chose this apartment because it's one of the smaller apartments and I wanted it to be a studio apartment. I just think that really fits an art student because they will be using it as their art studio. And I wanted to try making a smaller apartment because I'll be focusing a lot on adding a lot of clutter, and so I wanted to start off with a small space to do that. So here you can see I chose brick walls, which I think is a very artsy type of apartment. So I'm thinking for an art student they would really be able to appreciate these brick walls. And this little corner that I'm starting with here is the kitchen. I chose a very interesting teal color for the kitchen. I just think it looks really good with the brick wall. And here, as you can see, I'm already adding some debug items here for the clutter on the shelves. And I'm also going to be adding lots of plants in this apartment. So I was thinking that, this is an art student who maybe they specialize in landscape and, paintings of flowers and things like that. So aside from being an artist, she's really into plants as well. And you can see here, I'm just slowly going through the debug menu. There are a lot of items that we can use here for clutter. And since I don't own all the expansion packs and all the item packs, using the debug items is just a more fun and unique way to add clutter to the different counters and shelves and things like that. One of the reasons why most of my builds, they don't use a lot of clutter, aside from me not owning all the packs, is because a lot of the debug items, they can be kind of finicky. For example, if I place cups or bowls or plates, they could spoil and go bad. And then if I put it in a place where your Sims can't reach it, they might have negative moodlets because of it. So I've kind of been avoiding that, but for this build, I'm going to be trying to use more of these items, and I'm going to try my best to use items that won't spoil. And if I do use an item that might spoil, I'll try to put it on a counter or someplace that's more easily accessible for your Sims. So here on the shelf, I'm just putting some different bottles, spices, and things like that for decor. And then I'm also kind of gathering a bunch of different cooking utensils there, and I'm going to be putting it around the corners. So I am for sure going to be saving one empty counter so your Sims can cook their food without any problems. But almost all the other counters will have clutter on it, and so your Sims may not be able to use that counter for other kind of activities and things like that. So here I am just kind of slowly trying to put all my clutter here onto the countertop and make it look nice and not weird or anything like that. So I would say this kitchen turned out pretty well. There's a lot of items. It comes with the dishwasher, the sink, fridge, stove, microwave, even the coffee machine. So everything your Sims might need in a kitchen, it's definitely all included here. And one thing about, I guess, the overall layout of this apartment is that for apartments, you can't change the main door and you can't change the placement of the windows. So it's kind of weird, and I feel like there's only certain types of room layouts that would work if you want a bedroom or a window in every room, for example, like the bedroom. So here I only have one bathroom that doesn't have any windows, and I kind of saved the rest of the windows for the rest of the space. So, there's that one skinny window there in the kitchen, and then there's a big window that I'm going to be saving for the living room. So here is the coffee machine. I'm also adding a little bar counter here. So this is kind of where the Sims will be eating. And as you can see, I'm putting clutter on the edge of the counter there. I added the gardening tools and some envelopes. And so your Sims can only really eat on the other counter that's empty. So here's the bathroom. I'm keeping it consistent with the teal color and the bronze accents. I really like that. And I'm trying to add a bit more clutter to the washroom here as well. It's kind of awkward because I have to have the walls up in order to put stuff onto the walls here. So I have to zoom in really, really close. But I did fit the washer and dryer and a shower. and I'm just adding kind of like more teal and green items, which is kind of the overall color theme of this apartment. And this hallway here is going to be kind of the entryway, so I added a mirror, a shoe rack, some umbrellas, and a giant potted plant. So here is going to be the rest of the space, and I decided that this corner would be where the bed is. I mostly decided on this because I wanted the big window to be part of the general living space and where the Sims would be doing her art. So that's why I had to put the bed in the corner where there's only like a really small window really high up there at the top. And with the studio apartment, I still wanted to separate her kind of sleeping space with her workspace. So that's why I'm using this dresser here as well as the bookcase to kind of separate that space, even though there are no actual walls that I'm building or anything like that here. So I chose a lot of white furniture. I just feel like as an artist, you know, the white is kind of what calms them down, gets them creative, and I just hope it won't get too dirty, I guess, for her while she does all her painting and things like that. So I'm trying my best to add clutter into all the spaces that I can. I did decide that her sleeping corner here would be a bit neater than the rest of her apartment. I just feel like maybe she doesn't spend a lot of time here. This is literally where she just goes to sleep, and all her other stuff is kind of in the rest of the areas, and that's why there's so much more clutter. So here I have a lot of debug items that I've kind of set aside that I plan to put on her desk here. So a lot of kind of artist items and a lot of items from the Parenthood pack actually, like these glue sticks and the glitter. And yeah, so I just tried to find artsy items that would make sense at her work area here. And I also really like that llama sculpture. I think that's really cute, and maybe that's something she built herself or carved herself. So I decided to also put that on her desk there. And then in this corner, this is where her kind of workstation will be. So I have like the white mat underneath covered in paint splatters. I have her easel and her very dirty kind of like arts cabinet. And I decided to put it near the window so she can, you know, get some inspiration while she's painting. And also, if you see on the floor, there's like that little vent thing there. I just think it makes sense. Maybe like this, that's where she'll put her paintings, and it'll dry faster if she puts them in that corner. And yeah, also there's like this weird like metal box there in the corner. You can't change certain things about the apartments again, like the pipes. So I just kind of built around it, and I thought this is what would make the most sense. So yeah, I didn't add a dining table. I did add a sofa and a coffee table, and I didn't add a TV either. So I'm thinking that, you know, this art student, she's just always really busy with her painting and her art. And if she needs to watch some TV or some movies, she'll just watch it on her laptop, like on her bed or on the coffee table. And she'll also might eat dinner there as well. So that's kind of her general living space. And I'm just finishing up this side of the wall here. It was looking kind of bare, so I added some shelves, another dresser, a stereo, maybe she likes to listen to music while she paints, and some more plants. So generally, I would say the first impression in this apartment is that you walk in, it looks very stylish and artsy and clean, and then you kind of turn the corner and you see like all the clutter and all the mess that she kind of lives it with on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, I'm thinking that, you know, this is room for one Sims, maybe two, since there's a double bed, but really it's focused on that female art student. And I chose the lot traits here for things that would benefit a Sims who's very creative. And so yeah, I had a lot of fun building this and trying to use more clutter and all of the debug items. I have play tested it, and you can sleep, cook, and do all those things, so that should be okay. And if you want to use this apartment, you can download the lot from my gallery. I just had to erase some of the walls in the bathroom there in order to include it all as one room, since I can't save it as one lot. But yeah, so if you have any suggestions on what I should build next, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Toodles!